This is the Big Woods Bucks podcast. Come explore the big woods and timber in North America with your host, Maine Master Guide and deer tracking expert Hal Blood. Listen to Hal and co-hosts Lee Libby and Joe Cruzy as they unlock the secrets of big woods whitetails. Each episode will provide valuable insights into the tried and true system Hal has used for the last 40 years to scout, locate, and hunt mature big woods bucks. Listen and laugh as the crew discusses Hal's legendary adventures and learn how to apply a lifetime's worth of lessons from the big woods to your own hunting and outdoor adventures.
Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood, down here at Lake Parland Lodge once again. And co-host Joe Cruzy's here with me.
Hello.
Bad Lee is not here. We've had our annual meeting today, and we're going to try to get a bunch of the guys on. We're going to have kind of a fun session this time. So right now we got Rick Labby.
Hello.
And Timmy Boldick.
Hey.
That's quite. I don't know if we should have paired them up together, Joe.
I know.
It's
Put
kind
them
of a strange parent, isn't it?
Yeah.
We met for the first time today, me and Rick.
You
And
did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I've never met him, and I've been listening to him on the podcast, and I was really excited to meet him today, and I feel like I've known him forever already.
Yeah.
So
He didn't let
made
you,
a friend.
He didn't let you down.
Definitely. No, definitely made a friend today.
So you just not... We were all here last year. Last year's...
I wasn't here. It was my wife's birthday.
Yeah, I missed him.
Yeah.
It must have been the year before, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think we were
Maybe.
a week later last year.
Okay.
And her birthday's next week, so yeah.
Okay.
Hey, time's flying, ain't it?
Yeah.
Wait till you get my age, it goes even faster.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've had our annual Big Woods get-together today. We have a cookout, and it was a nice day today on the lake, and we did a little shooting. Shot at some running targets, running deer shoot, did some skeets, had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Cooked out.
I think we developed a new system for our running deer.
Yeah.
It's the running water bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I did too, except for
Swings-
Bob shot it
swings a
the
little
first.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot it, ruined it for everyone.
First shot.
Shot.
Yeah, couldn't believe that. That was a
Yeah.
good shot.
Did
So
you-
what we did is we tied a water bottle onto the piece of plywood, and we hung it. And as that rolled down, we were trying to hit the water bottle, and of course it was full of water, so it exploded and stuff. And I went first. And
Well, you got to back up, and we all put money in a pot.
Yeah.
The first person that gets it.
yeah. So everybody put $1 in, and anyways,
Whoa. I wasn't in that.
No, we didn't ask you.
yeah.
They asked me at the last minute, but they said I had to shoot last.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 But anyways, I went the first round, and I missed on five shots. I took all 5 shots, and Bob went next, and it was his very first shot he took, and he whaled it. So, yeah, good shooting.
Game over.
Yeah.
I was just getting my $1 out of my wallet when I lost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I lost.
I was going to say, look on the bright side. You saved your $1.
No, I didn't. I give it to him.
You never got to shoot, did you?
No.
You never even tried it, right?
No. I always get handicapped. Pushed to the back of the line, all the stuff.
Yeah.
Wah, wah,
Yeah, we feel real
Yeah.
bad for you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Had a good day. Families were here, a lot of them, and talked business over and how the COVID's been affecting business, which it has with us as well as a lot of people. But we're coming out of it with some good direction, and we got a lot of good things coming up this year with the team.
Are we talking about some of the affected businesses?
Are we talking about them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be, ain't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that part of this podcast?
Yeah, you probably should.
The bearer of bad news.
Yeah. Not to be the bearer of bad news, but I'll be the bearer of bad news. Silent Predator contacted us a week or so ago, and they're going out of business. And the main reason is the wool that they had put a deposit on wool for us, the green checkered, and they got stiffed on it and lost their deposit. That company went under, the wool company. And at the same time, the camo wool they get from Pendleton, they're not going to make that anymore, so they don't have a source for wool, so they're getting out of the wool stitching business. I don't know. I'm sure they got other parts of their business where they manufacture stuff, but for all practical purposes, right now we don't have a source for wool or the clothing, but we've got some ideas we're working on, so maybe you can be patient a little bit longer and see, but we're going to keep an update on that. We're working with another company to see what we can come up with. But
Yep.
so anyway,
Actively trying to get some green and black check wool, which I'd have never thought before getting involved in all this that it was such a hard thing to come by. You think, well, there must be a bunch of companies out there doing it, and
Yeah, but
go
there's
out there.
not really.
No,
nope, it's rare in hen's teeth now.
very specialized.
Yeah.
So, but we've got some ideas going forward. There was some good things raised at the meeting, and we're hoping that we can make something happen and have a product back on. It's frustrating because, you know, when you're working with quality and everyone wants it and you can't supply it, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah. So anyways, we had the last thing we could do with them is we had orange wool left, and we put in an order for a bunch of the orange capes, and they had brown camo left, so we put in an order for a bunch of those for packs. So we'll be getting that stuff here probably in another 6 weeks. So if you're going to need a pack for this fall, it's going to be a last chance for a while, I think, till we can come up with something else.
Yeah, those are nice packs too. They're quiet.
Yep.
Is the shortage exclusive to the green plaid, or what about like the pants, the solid green and stuff? Is that not a problem, or is it just
the same company was making it both for us?
Oh, really?
Yep. Because when Woolrich went out of business, that was a lot of people bought from Woolrich. And then this other company matched it. You know, they took it and matched it identically, both the green and the green check, for the pants and jackets. And now I guess they're gone. So, I mean, it isn't saying we couldn't find another place for the green checkered, which we're going to try to look for, but it's dwindling down. You know, options are starting to dwindle more.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But
It's too bad.
anyway, we'll probably be wearing a couple falls from now our pajamas out in the woods or something.
We'll still be out there.
Yep. Thank God
Definitely.
I've been saving all my old jackets. When I get a new one, I put the old ones, I keep them aside there, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. I might be wearing ragtag stuff here in a few years.
Same here. I bet I got 8 pairs of wool pants with a hole in the knee or ripped out in the crotch.
Yeah.
But you save them.
Yeah, my wool
Go get
pants
'em
looks
stitched
like a cat's been using them for a scratching post.
Yeah.
Right.
They're all pills pulled out of them and stuff.
Been through a million fir trees.
That was
Yeah.
what's kind of nice about the Big Woods pants is you guys had reinforced inside in the crotch there, because that's where I wear them too.
Yeah,
And the knees.
stepping over stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It just,
And the ones I have a pair of Big Woods ones, and
Yeah.
they, the knees and in there is
that's where they wear.
yep.
Yeah.
They doubled it up in there, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, the raspberries rake them apart too. You go
Yeah.
through about 10 miles of raspberries. It's pretty hard on a
Yeah.
pair of pants.
Brushed wool.
Yeah,
But there might be some solutions there. We're hoping to put something together and have some product back out. So it'll just take a little time.
yep, yeah. Well, so we'll keep moving on, finding new things to do and places to go. Right?
And there's nothing new on the Remington front since last time.
No,
just that they're
not
sitting
really.
in a crate.
No, we don't know much about them yet, but I'll find out. I got to make another email, I guess. I don't think it's top priority right now. So
To Joe, it is.
Yeah. Hey, either way, I wish they would start making them.
I know what I can mention about Remingtons, though. We had we got one of our 35 Whalens back. It's been fired a little bit, a few times, and we got it back. We bought it back actually, and I think what we're going to do with that is do to be fair to everybody, because Chris has got people on a list a mile long that wanted one of them, and I think what we're going to do is just do kind of like a sealed bid thing on it, and then that way, the highest bid is going to get it, and that's all. That's the only, instead of trying to pick one person out of a list, it'll give everybody a fair shake at it.
Yeah.
What number is it?
That's number 24, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. I've looked it over. It's
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put a new sight on it. The guy had dropped it, I guess, and it's dinged just the peep sight on the peep sight itself. It actually broke the aperture.
That screws into it.
So the threaded, I tried to get it out with a Torx bit, but I can't get it. It's not enough to get a hold of. Probably with an easy out I could get it, but doesn't matter. It's got a ding in the top of it, and it's got a kind of a ding in the front where it slides. So to make it basically look like new again, I'm going to put a new sight on it when I can get one. New Williams.
That'll be a nice one to
going.
end up with.
Be good for hunting. Somebody that wants to hunt with one, not just
Right, it's been used already.
Yeah,
it's been fired. It ain't been fired a lot, but maybe might have a box of shells through it, but I doubt even less than that, maybe. But
yeah, that ain't nothing.
No, not the way carbines are going nowadays. Everybody, it's hard. Speaking of that,
we're gonna try and do something.
Yeah, what do you got
fun.
going on with them?
Well,
your horde of carbines and rifles, 7600s.
Yeah, no wonder we can't find it.
Yeah.
Look, you guys go to Joel if you want to know where all the carbines and all the rifles have gone. I think Joel's got a little bit bigger collection.
Yeah, he won't part with them though.
I talked in the last one, and I had a lot of people respond and interested in buying. And I've sold a few that I wanted to sell and everything, but I've got some more that I wouldn't mind getting rid of, and they're older ones. There's some newer ones, a couple carbines, but anyway, I got to thinking we're going to combine. We're going to have a fundraiser for the Snowmobile Club. It's going to be a raffle through our Snowmobile Club, and I know Hal doesn't like to talk snowmobile, so we're going to keep it short.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to raffle off 5 Remington pumps, 760s and 7600s. Going to sell 75 tickets for $100 a piece.
Wait a minute now. How many carbines, how many rifles?
2 carbines, 3 rifles.
Okay.
A 270 rifle, 2 30-06 carbines, and 2 30-06 rifles.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're going to be how many tickets?
75 tickets.
Ooh, pretty good odds.
Yeah, and the way it's going to work is we're going to draw the name, pull the name out, read the name, and then we're going to draw out of another bucket which gun they get.
Oh, yeah.
So it's random. Yep. We're not going to do it in order.
So you
or
got
anything. 5
chances to win.
Yeah, the odds are. We worked it out. It's around I think 7.5% odds or something.
Yeah, and then was you going to put the ticket back in the bucket so somebody could win twice?
That's right.
Ooh.
If you win one, you're not excluded. You're back in the bucket, so a person could theoretically win more than one.
Huh.
So you're not out of the game after you win. So it should be fun. So what I'll do is I'll put a post up this week to correspond when the podcast comes out. It'll be on the Big Woods Bucks Facebook page with kind of how it's going to work, and just so everyone's got an idea how we're going to do it is. And the only way the easiest way I knew how to do it is if you're interested in getting a ticket, you'll message us on either the Big Woods Bucks page, or you can. A lot of the guys out there are on my personal page. You can send me a personal message, send me your name, address, and just say you want in on the raffle. You're going to go in the queue. That way I can keep track of how many as they come in.
Yep.
I'll message you back and acknowledge that I got it. I know your name's on there, and then you'll send a check made out to the Snowmobile Club, which is Coburn Summit Riders. And
nice.
And so that way, because I got an idea that it's going to fill up pretty quick.
Yeah, that many tickets will for sure.
Yep. And,
I might even buy one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll do it live. We'll do like a Facebook Live drawing.
Yep.
And we're going to do it right like once all the tickets are sold and that's it. We're going to do it. So we don't even have a date that we're going to do it. We'll announce it obviously ahead of time so people can watch. But we just thought it'd be a fun way to do it, and it's good for the Snowmobile Club, and there's going to be some happy winners in there, I think, for $100.
Oh yeah,
walk away with a nice gun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so the other part about it is that we're just going to give, and we talked about doing PayPal or Venmo and that stuff, but we're not going to mess around going down that route. You send a check in, or, if you know me, there's a lot of guys I know that that I've talked to already that want in on it, but I didn't take anyone's name or money or anything. And I said, once we announce it, then we'll do it. So if you know me or whatever, send me you can give me the $100 or whatever, and we'll do it that way. But I'll keep it, and I just want to keep it all like,
right.
Everyone's in the order they send it in, and get the name in it. And if it works out well and it's successful and we have a good time, then maybe we'll do another one down the road. So
You won't have any guns left.
Who says?
Yeah. This is just the overflow.
Right. Yeah.
Is this the cream of the crop or the bottom of the barrel guns?
No, it's a little bit. Well, there's no bottom of the barrel when it comes to these guns. I mean, if your bottom of the barrel is a nice 30-06 rifle, then I guess we got some bottom of the barrel. But some of them have Monte Carlo stocks, and some of them are straight, and the carbines are 760s. Nice clean carbines. They're older, but they're good guns. So
nice.
And when did you say you're gonna? You don't know when you're gonna do the drawing.
Well, once the tickets are sold.
So
just gonna sell 75 tickets and draw them.
Yep. So if I get, if we announce it Monday and it's fulfilled by next week, then we'll do it next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll just go on. We'll have that flexibility without. There's no reason to sit around for 3 weeks if everything's sold.
Yep. Right.
So we may as well do it and have a good time with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
we might announce the winners on the podcast, huh?
Yeah. Well, we'll do it live and then afterwards, right? Is that what you mean?
No, just whenever the next podcast. We'll just
right.
The one at the podcast after you drawing. We'll just name the winners.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
Anyway, be a good time.
Sounds good. Rick, what's new in your life?
Can I give you my 100 right now?
Uh-huh. Yeah, right when we're done, you can. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good.
Cash.
Yeah, there's enough people here at this party we might fill it before we leave.
Good turnout, huh?
It's great.
A lot of guys here today.
Yeah, everyone and their families and kids and then some. So it was a good time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, Nancy couldn't make it today. My Jenna's bridal shower tomorrow, so lot going on today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the last one, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, she's happy.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
Good deal.
Yeah. But no, other than that,
digging dirt.
Been fishing a lot this spring.
Yeah, he's been cleaning out Moosehead. Yeah. Bailing them out of there.
I threw everything back except 2 togue. That's all I kept.
He caught some nice ones this year, huh? Those are some good ones.
I did. Yeah. Yeah, we did good. Nancy outfished me every day, though.
How's that work?
I don't know. I just hand her the rod, and she'd reel in a 4-pounder, and I'd grab a rod and get a 2-pounder.
Yeah.
Yeah. We usually swap off. Yeah. I make her drive the boat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So she knows where the fish are.
She does, yeah. She's watching the fish finder.
You've had pretty nice weather this spring, too.
Yeah, we have, really. Yeah.
A little too dry, really. We need some water.
It is dry. You see how low the river is coming up? Holy cow, I've never seen it that low this early in the year.
Well, they're holding it back because I went up Penobscot Lake last week, and that lake is the highest I've ever seen it. They held the dam all the way back. The water is up in the bushes. I've never seen it. I've been going there for 40 years, and I've never seen that water that high.
They just worried about it.
They're worried about letting it go and then not having any for later.
Yeah.
So they're holding that back for now.
Yeah.
And that, of course, that don't come this way. It goes to the Penobscot, but probably the upper ends they are.
Yeah.
Trying to hold some back and see what the rain situation is going to look like. But the brooks in the woods are ridiculous. They look like August again.
Yeah, they do.
And I know, talking to people that have been fishing in the brooks, we lost a lot of trout last fall in the brooks. I knew we would because a lot of the little feeder streams had dried right up.
Yeah, lost the spawn and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed coming off, I was over on Coburn the other day, and the brooks up there that you don't ever usually see dry already.
Yeah, the springs.
I mean clay, like cracked.
Yep, all the springs you can usually drink out of and stuff that dried up. Because we didn't get enough rain in the fall, and then we didn't get enough snow in the winter to fill that, the whatever they call it, geology back up, aquifer or whatever. So, but anyway, good news is the bucks are growing antlers. at a fast rate.
Yep.
They had a good winter, fat and happy. They got out of it early. The green up was early. The green plants were growing early May. The green plants started sprouting up in the woods.
2 to 3 weeks early this year.
Yeah. It's one of the earliest I've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah. I know the last 2 years there was still snow in the woods the first weekend in May when I was doing my clinics, and this year was green plants shooting up.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
You had a busy clinic here, huh?
Yeah, clinics are buttoned up, right?
Yeah, got all that out of the way. Had 5 great groups.
Nice.
Yep, I think they all learned a bunch. People go, aren't you afraid you're teaching all them people to deer hunt? There ain't going to be no deer left in the woods? And I go, oh, no. So they ain't really that worried about that.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, they all come for different reasons. It's kind of interesting, you know. Some of them come to the deer clinics and they're still really not going to come hunt in the big woods, but they want to learn something about maybe where they live. Maybe it's in New Hampshire, and, you know, maybe it's, you know, central part of Maine. It doesn't matter, but they just want to learn something else about deer, I guess, and the habits. I think the hardest thing I've been trying to teach people that is they look at the big woods. To a lot of people, we know it's overwhelming. You know what I mean? You don't know where to start. You look around, you go, where the hell, where are you going to go? You know?
Right.
Because the woods looks the same. But so what I've been focusing on trying to teach them is what I've always done is I think things simply, and I try to break things down into percentages. And so I teach them to hunt in the 10% of where the bucks are usually spending their time, you know. I tell them they might have a 10, 20 square mile range, pick a number, but they only really use about 10% of it where they travel. The rest of it's just kind of wasteland for them, you know. I mean, they might ding through there once in a while looking for a doe, but so you got to learn to hunt in that 10% where they hang out, where they travel. And so that's what I've been teaching them is how to find the 10%. And a lot of it's to do with where you find the signpost rubs and the travel corridors and all of that stuff. But it's fun because I see the light bulbs come on and they're always saying, I've been hunting in that 90% my whole life. I've been hunting the 10% now, you know.
In the wrong place.
I'll take them up a hardwood ridge and I go, ain't this a real pretty spot to set right up in here somewhere? And they go, oh, yeah. And I go, don't bother, because there might not be a buck come through here all season. Because there's another half mile or a mile of the same ridge where they could come down through anywhere. They ain't gonna. It's too random, you know.
Yeah, you don't. And the way you learn that is tracking over the years.
Yeah,
you know, just day after day getting on a buck track, and you learn, you know, after 8-10 years of that stuff in hunting the same area. This is his core area, or you might kill that buck, and the next one coming ahead of him uses the same corridor, same corridors. Spot. Yeah,
and then if they do go out through these, you know, cuts, open hardwood ridges, it's never in the same place.
Never.
They're just trying to get from point A to B, and it's the quickest way that day.
Yeah,
trying to locate buck tracks in the beginning for me is kind of. You know, what you said, that they use 10% of that 100% of the woods, and that kind of taught me how to get moving a little bit and not be puttering around in that 90% where you know what I'm saying? Like I learned it's okay to get moving and cover some miles, you know, and that was a big change for me right there, is once I sorted that out. And, you know, you got to get moving and get yourself through that stuff and get yourself into the 10%.
Yeah. My statement for that is hunt 90% of the time of your time in the 10%, and 10% of your time in the 90%.
In the 90, right.
So you just got to get through the 90 as quick as you can to get to the next 10%.
Yep.
Right.
That's the easiest way I can explain it to people, but you still have to know where that 10% is. You got to find it.
Well, you got to find that.
You got to find it by scouting and things like that.
And then you'll catalog those places too. You know, years go by and
you never forget them.
You won't forget those spots, and you can go back to those places and stuff.
I go back to spots, 30 years ago where I saw a big buck track, didn't even kill it, but I saw a big buck track there. Yep. That's etched in my head.
Oh, yeah.
I'll drive by and say, they always cross right here because I saw a big one once, so another big buck.
Yep.
Eventually it's going to come through there.
Them little ones, them young bucks learn from the big ones by following them around, and they just pass it on. Yeah. I got some pictures on big signpost rub. I got 2 great big bucks that go like 250 on there. They only came once the whole season. Well, I took the camera out like the 3rd week, but usually by the end they get rut in there and they're not coming by them as much. But
Yeah.
there was a spike horn on it too, and a button buck. Smelling it, rubbing on it a little bit. See, some of them button bucks, they leave their mothers in the fall,
Right.
and they just go follow the other bucks around.
Yeah, that's right.
They're learning to be big bucks, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And those big bucks tolerate them little ones. They know they're not no threat. To
They ain't
them,
no
you know?
harm.
No, they let them follow them around and stuff.
That's what I did with Hal when I first met him. He's like, he's no threat to me. Just follow.
Just follow me.
Okay, Hal.
Oh, shit.
So you've been busy down doing your thing, Timmy?
I have. Yep.
Making some muzzle loaders?
Yep. Yep. Still working on guns. Yep.
I'm still waiting on mine.
You haven't ordered one, have you?
I did like 2 years ago.
Bull, you did not.
Didn't I?
Yeah, he did.
I did.
Boy,
Seriously.
you caught me right off guard right here.
I love it.
I don't have an order. I don't have an order for you.
You know,
Cage match.
Yeah. Well, I can do that. I'm glad I know. I'm glad you. Did you like officially order one, or did you just say like, no, I want one?
I think I just told Hal I wanted one.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Wow.
There's
Jesus. You had me exciting thinking you placed an order.
Somebody
or something.
screwed up.
Yeah.
man. I just had a hot flash right there. I'm like, did I forget his order?
I told you, Timmy.
Maybe I told him where we were coyote hunting and we were in the run and
Probably.
we had too much going on. Yeah, I'll
Timmy.
get you one.
Today's the first day I've met you, but I was, because you haven't said like, geez, I'd like to have one of those, and I was hoping you would. You know,
Timmy, I told you he wanted one.
no, you didn't.
I did.
Oh yeah.
Must have
So
caught you in
now,
a weak moment.
Now I should get a signature one, I think.
Yeah.
What do you want? Your Hal's signature or yours?
No, Chris Dalty's. He put his on a gun
Chris's,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of an interesting little fun fact I found out last night.
That was pretty funny
Yeah.
because I always thought that everybody did that for him. I didn't know that he did that like himself.
What was that?
The signature on that that gun.
So when the last ones, the 30-06s.
The first one we did, the gold one we did, the first
Yeah.
limited edition. They were one of 100 with my signature in gold on them. And then Chris's, he got a hold of the Barons that did it and had him put his signature on his, number 100. So he's got one of a kind.
So I saw it at his house that time when I went down there, and he's like, "Hey, check this out." And I saw it, and because I'm like, "Hey, that's cool."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, that's really cool of Hal to do for him and stuff." Well, it turns out Chris called up the guy and had him, on his own, which is kind of cool because we were talking about it, and it pretty much is
The only one ever made.
It's the only one ever made.
Huh.
It is a one-off.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It is.
Him and John Fennelson have one of a kind.
One of a kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that wild that gun John picked up 7,600 and a 22-250.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew
That's pretty
when I
wild.
saw that.
Yeah.
Joel was looking at it too on Gunbroker, and he asked me about it, and he sent me the pictures, and I looked at it, and I go, has to be a prototype because you couldn't. It's stamped on the barrel, the 22-250, and that's nothing you can do afterwards.
And what, they never made that?
Nope, they never made it.
That's cool.
It was a prototype. They must have did a few odd
Put it out
calibers,
there. Yeah.
and then I think the reason they didn't was probably something to do with the ammo not cycling right in a pump because they're always made for the 22-250s are kind of a hot cartridge for a bolt action,
Right.
So I kind of just figured the feeding probably wasn't right. And the guy said that it didn't feed. He said right in the listing on Facebook that it was something to do that if it fed right. I guess it didn't lock the chamber right unless you slammed it, which would indicate that the bullets are seated not quite enough for that, or
Right.
something. So anyways, but yeah, that'd be a one of a kind. And I think my Tang safety one's a one of a kind,
Yeah,
too.
I'm pretty sure it is, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be because of the first year, with a serial number 2404.
Hey, Hal here. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership with OnX Hunt. I've been using it for a while now, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a very techie person, but the OnX app is it's a real time saver. I remember the days when we poured over topo maps everywhere we was going to go and stuff, and I don't do that quite as much anymore. where it's really helped me is scouting, whether it's deer scouting, a moose, or even turkey hunting in the spring, which I do. It really helps out. I don't have to spend as much time running around the truck burning up the gas. I'm just basically using my OnX. Got it on my phone. Don't even carry a GPS anymore. So I just download the areas where I'm going to be hunting, whether it's up north moose hunting, and I use it mostly on the satellite imagery. I like to see the cuts and the clearings and the turkey hunting, the hidden fields and stuff. But everybody's using it now, from the game wardens to land surveyors, and just a great tool. And with our partnership with OnX, if you use a code BWB, you're going to receive 20% off on your first premium or elite memberships. And you just go to onxmaps.com/hunt. You'll be glad you did. Good luck on the trail.
Hi everyone, Big Woods team member Mark Sheeran here. Many of you know that I have a passion for helping people solve their addictions permanently. As a matter of fact, me and my team have spent the last 31 years helping more than 20,000 people move on from their addictions. So know this, if you or someone you love want to move on from an addiction for good, and you don't want to be stuck in a rehab or 12-step meetings or endless therapies, then you might want to learn about the Freedom Model and the St. Jude Retreat. To learn more, give us a call at 888-424-2626. All calls are confidential. Here's that number again, 888-424-2626, or go to soberforever.net for more information. I really look forward to helping you end your addictions for good. Here's that number one last time, 888-424-2626. Take care.
We got in the house safe last night. Got him to crack that thing open.
Yeah. You did?
Oh, yeah. He was...
I let him peek in
the
first level.
I grabbed his gun, though. The first thing I grabbed was his gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all Timmy wanted to see was mine.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the one that he's been using forever.
Yeah.
He wanted to see if his blue one was worn off more than mine. That's what he wanted to see.
You got a few more years on
I just got tired. Every time I go over there, he's like, want to see my safe? Want to see my safe? I'm like, I don't give a shit, Hal. No.
I'm starting to get it cleaned out a little bit, but jeez, it's still ridiculous. Seems like every time I clean a couple things out of there that they
More
didn't
come in.
Something, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still got a few I got to get rid of.
Speaking of signatures, you were supposed to sign my camp when you finished building it. You and PJ. Remember?
Yep.
I was going to have the only Hal Blood signature camp.
How do you know I didn't?
I've been looking.
No, we're going to go over there and tag it tonight with spray paint.
Oh, great.
It's going to be like a gang symbol. HB, BWB.
I'm pretty sure if you tear them boards out of your walls, you'll find a signature in there.
Probably. Many.
It's probably a grocery list for lunchtime. Send someone to the store and get food.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Fish Central now, isn't it?
Yeah, we try and keep that quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every weekend there's a post on Facebook.
All your pictures on Facebook show me how quiet it is.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go fishing with you.
Come over anytime.
Yeah, I know.
Be glad to have you.
I almost went a couple weeks ago. I was going to give you a call. We were up for the weekend, and I'll do it another time. And then I think a half hour later, I see all these pictures of these beautiful salmon.
You missed the boat.
Yeah,
you actually missed the boat.
Yeah. I actually thought, I said, I ought to see if he'll take me and my grandson one day.
Yeah, you ought to.
But I was so tied up with them clinics. So it ties up 4 days out of 7.
Yeah.
And then, because Deb having her operation,
then the other 3, you're trying to get stuff done.
I'd have a honeydew list a mile long I had to get done in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then go back and start over. So, but I haven't been fishing. I got to get my grandson out. He's pretty anxious. But
so something I thought of with OnX is this is how well OnX works to do with fishing even. So this guy tells me, he says they've been catching all of these big brookies in front of this guy's camp, and I'm not going to say.
No, don't say.
No. So I'm thinking, well, where the heck is his camp? There's 278 miles of shoreline. So I go on OnX. I just start scrolling. Oop, there it is right there.
Oh, because you saw the landowner.
Yeah, saw the landowner right there. I'm like, that's the spot.
Did you catch fish there?
Oh, yeah.
See, that could have been your 1 minute Onyx post for their Instagram page.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, I
Content.
mean, that's just having that little bit of information.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, I got that right here.
Yep.
You know.
I use it so much for just for acreage, because with different things we're doing at the pit and everything, figuring square footage on land and acreage and all that all the time. It's so fast and easy.
Yeah.
You can put it in there, put your corners in, and boom, or line distances or whatever. Just you don't. It's not just a hunting app. I mean, it's useful all the time.
People call me up, like in the Belgrade Lakes area, and say, "Hey, I'm down such and such a camp road." Well, there's literally 50 to 75 camps down these camp roads, 2-3 miles long on these lakes, and I'll just go on Onyx and say, "Oh, there he is, right there." Pulls his name right up. Perfect. It just makes it simpler, faster and simpler.
Yeah, that's better than Google Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Or just having the names and the boundary lines,
right?
Yeah,
that's handy, super handy, and easy to use. That's the best part.
Yeah,
it's easy to because I'm not good with that stuff, but piece of cake. So
the more you use it, the better you get with it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's been a handy tool.
Yeah.
All right, we better get a couple of the other boys on here. We wanted to try to get most of the guys,
and women.
And women.
Don't we have Candice coming in here?
Yeah.
Teaching you
talk
guys
about what she's going to be
cook.
doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We should pause it for a minute and pick her back up. Well, welcome back for the little pause there. We got some new team members here to talk a little bit. So we got Candice Sable from Corinna, or is it Lincoln?
Corinth.
Corinna. How'd I get that?
Cornville.
She lives over east there somewhere.
Maine.
Yeah. By, what do they call it up there? Bangtown? Bangor?
Is that what they call it now?
I've heard that.
I haven't.
Yeah. And Nick Campagno.
Not a new member. Been here forever.
You there, Nick? Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, Nick's here.
Can
you hear me now?
His shirt says Burr Sniffer.
Yeah.
I've been looking at that all day.
I know.
Yeah.
It does grab your attention, doesn't it?
Yeah, Burr Sniffer.
So
if you don't see the shirt, you might not know what it's about.
Nick is here to give up all of his spots and all of his hot tips, right?
Yeah. Zone 8. Yeah.
Yeah. His moose shed tips. So Candice, let's talk a little bit here, huh? Okay. You don't mind?
No.
So Candice has been cooking for me for 5 years this year.
Yeah, 5 years.
And I could tell people I'm still alive, so she's doing good. So at my deer clinics in the spring, does a fabulous job there. And I met her quite a few years ago, but then she was cooking for Brian up at his moose camp. And been cooking for Joe at moose camp some.
Yep.
And
It was fun.
cooking
fortunate to have her back this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, cooking
I'm committed. Unless I get drawn.
a bear camp you cook at now too, right?
Yes.
Yep. So she's cooking all the time. So guess what? We thought would be a good idea to maybe do a little Big Woods cooking show. Wild game stuff. Outdoorsy. Not just game, but outdoor stuff. So Candice goes around foraging and all of that stuff and cooks it up. So
anyone that knows Candice and follows her already on her Instagram knows why we're excited to have Candice on the team doing that. And if you're not, you can. Well, I think we're going to be starting a new Instagram page, correct?
Yeah, I've been working with Bo, just talking about,
Yeah.
It's
So we got to
exciting.
figure it all out. What we're trying to do here is get it sponsored first. We're going to do a YouTube show. When we talked about it, what did we say? How often was he going to do it? Once a month, a start, or something?
Yeah.
Got to kind of baby steps. And do have it on YouTube, a show doing one thing at a time, whether it's cooking some bear up or making some pickled fiddleheads or doing whatever she does. And
you can follow her now on her Instagram page and see what she's all about. And I'll tell you, it's impressive.
She takes good pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's cataloged in pictures, and so it's going to be fun. So anybody out there listening, interested in being a sponsor on that project, you can let us know. I think it's going to be a big deal, and it's going to help you out.
It's just seems like it's a really good natural fit. So again, anybody who knows me knows that for the past 21 years, I've only eaten wild game. So gave up beef, pork, chicken, non-wild turkey 21 years ago. So that has really sort of pushed me to not only hunt to fill my own freezer, but really to master the game of cooking wild game,
Right.
which to so many people is intimidating
Sure.
because it's too dry or too gamey, or I don't know,
Right.
I don't know what these cuts are. They're just kind of in my freezer. So, just working at the clinics and at moose camp, cooking up the moose hearts and shooting birds and taking pictures of those. And oftentimes I'm cooking outside, with other things that I've foraged.
Yeah, I got to speak to you about that. These guys that do these moose camps, they don't give you the best cooking facility, do they?
Actually,
What are you talking about?
Joe's was pretty good last year.
Yeah, thank you, Candice.
All except the
How
propane.
dare you
stoves,
attack
wood
me on the
stoves this
podcast
year.
with my moose camp?
Yeah, forgot to mention the wood stoves.
No, but we're upgrading this year.
Yeah, we got a pallet of them. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Gonna have wood stoves.
all right.
No, it's Candice actually makes it's just part of the whole thing at camp is having, when you come back from the hunt and Candice has hors d'oeuvres,
Happy hour.
partridge.
Yeah,
Oh my
happy
gosh,
hour.
Happy
partridge.
hour. 5 o'clock's happy hour.
I never ate so much partridge as I did last year because there
It was
were
a
so
good
many
bird
of them.
year. Yeah, it was a good bird
And
year.
every night we come back, we had partridge.
Yeah.
Oh, it was nice.
Hors d'oeuvres, yeah.
Yep.
And I agree. Being the camp cook is helping to sort of create that overall experience of the remote camps. And I sure do love to do it and have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, and then you get a picture with every moose taken, right?
Yeah, and go out to help
Right.
with
Yeah.
lots of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had fun going out with Matt last year to get his moose.
Oh,
Riding
yeah.
in the back
That was
of the
an adventure.
truck.
Yeah, that Dodge truck goes anywhere, right?
Absolutely. And Glacier got to come along. My chocolate lab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Have you ever carried a moose rack out of the woods?
Oh, as a matter of fact. Yes. It was a rainy, stormy evening, late night.
Thunder, lightning.
Yeah, for a couple of Massachusetts
Wait,
state
where was that?
troopers, I think.
Oh, you're zone
Zone
4.
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Last year? No.
No.
2 years.
3?
3?
3
years
I think.
ago?
Yeah.
4?
Carried the
4
horns
maybe.
out.
Yeah.
That was the first
They go
year.
by quick.
Because
Yeah,
it was pretty far in.
It was like a mile and a half. And
Why do you always get them that far back?
I don't for fun. For fun.
Yeah,
there
that was fun. I've carried several things out. Yeah, helped pack stuff out for sure. All part of the experience. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So
So I
I-
think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's exciting. Just seeing, as everyone gets to know Candice more, that people that don't know her will see your personality and how it's a natural fit for you. And
Yep.
I think everyone's going to learn a lot too.
Yeah, they're also going to learn how to make margaritas and various things, right?
I know. Whiskey gingers. I know.
Did you make
Happy
this one?
hours.
Yeah.
Actually, Nick's wife made this one.
All right.
Yeah, she's over there with the margarita
Thank you,
mixer.
Kaylee.
Yeah.
She didn't make my wild turkey 101 in Coke though.
These are the best podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Guys are cutting loose, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a fun day.
Yeah.
The barbecues are always
I'm
a
just sitting
fun
here with
day.
my
Yeah.
Bud Light enjoying it all.
Yeah. Always a fun day.
I'm the teetotaler drinking the Bud Light.
You haven't been back on since last season, had you?
No, I think at the picnic last year.
Right.
Yeah.
So how was your deer season?
Not bad. Not bad. I did, good, I guess, as far as filling tags. Shot that Vermont buck. I wasn't going to shoot him, but then he ran, and I decided he was bigger.
He flipped
It's instinct, right?
And then when he fell down and I walked up, I decided that he wasn't bigger, but,
He flipped your switch.
Yeah. Well, I had missed one on Bear Ground. It's a long story, but I'll make it short. I got a really big buck on a moose camera in Vermont, and I'd rather go to New Hampshire, but he was so big, it seemed foolish to not hunt him. So I went in there on Bear Ground and just kind of poked around, and I found a deadhead bull, like 46-inch bull, and I'm not going to carry it all day when I'm deer hunting, so I go over in an alder, and I'm hanging it in the alder, and the My rifle's leaning up against a little spruce or fir, and the antlers are banging around in the alder while I'm hanging it. Little did I know the buck's like 40 yards away, and he gets up and he's walking down the trail at me. I figured this out after. There's only one trail in the greenery, in the fir. He starts walking it towards me, hearing me banging that thing, thinks I'm a buck probably rubbing, catches my wind, blows. I just reached down and grabbed the gun. Good thing the rack didn't fall on me because I let go of it. I grabbed the gun. He goes through an opening, and it was like you wouldn't shoot at a snowshoe hare running through there, but I saw the beams, and I knew it was him, and I just held on a couple little openings and just ripped a couple through there. Never touched him, which I kind of figured. And I think it was like not too long later, we got some snow. I went back in there, got right on his track, like 100 yards from that spot. He was a homebody. He lived right there. I mean, I got him on that moose camera the whole time he was in velvet. And I'm tracking him, and we hadn't gone that far, maybe a quarter mile, and it kind of pitched off. It was all mature fir where they had cut a long time ago, some strips in it. And at the bottom was all short fir where the moose had hammered it. And I can see this deer's rear end sticking out. And I pull up with my carbine. Of course, I got the peep on it, and I can't see the rack. So I reach down, I grab my little binoculars I started carrying, and I see a rack in the brush. And I'm like, that's not him. You know, I'm not going to shoot him. He doesn't look that big. He catches my wind, and he takes off running. And I'm like, pow, pow, pow. And, that was the end of it. It was like a 2-mile drag out of there. I actually put a little picture up on the Big Woods page because I happen to have service. And headed to New Hampshire the next day and buck track. I sent Hal the picture. The buck walked across the main road with a doe, snowing like crazy. I mean, a main paved road. And I got lucky and beat the plow, I guess. And he's dragging his feet going across the pavement. I'm like, well, he's with a doe. He's dragging his feet. I guess I'll follow him. Like a mile later, I jump him up, and he was behind the beech whips. And the doe goes left, and he goes right. And I see just tine sticking up when he goes by the beech whips. And in my brain, I'm like, that's an 8-pointer. And the doe only goes like 30 yards, and she stops, and she's blowing at me. And he pitches down the bank, and there's another, it was kind of an open cut. There's kind of another flat down below. And I'm like, well, he's going to come back. He's not just going to keep going. And I don't see him out on that flat. So I grunted a couple times and sprinted like 20 yards to the end of where it dropped. And as soon as I put the brakes on and stopped, he took off running. And of course, I emptied my gun again and got him. And it was a 182-pound 4-pointer. Big, webbed 4-pointer, went straight up.
No kidding.
So it was the first 4-pointer I shot in like 15 years or something, I think. 12 years, but.
Yeah, but he was just poor genetics on the horns, huh?
Yeah, and he had really bad luck.
Yeah.
And then I came up here. We had that crunchy snow and messed up on a big one, northern Maine up here. And we dogged
What week were you up here?
Thanksgiving. Yeah. We got on a buddy of mine wanted to come up and double team with me, and we got on a giant buck one day. We had a hard time finding one that we really wanted to follow, and we found that one, I think it was the second to last day, and he was just headed. I mean, we went by a guy in a tree stand at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he had looked at the track when he got in the stand. So we knew that it was, old. And I mean, we were sweating just right out straight behind him. We finally caught him. He never did anything. He just stopped, made a 90, and bedded. And there was like 4 beds right there because all the crap was falling out of the trees because it was warm. And I think it was hitting him. So he just kept moving, trying to not get stuff on him. And he never fed or anything. He just laid down, must have caught our wind, blew out of there. We chased him for like 2 more hours, caught up to him. He went back to walking. He got in our track from earlier and was walking up our track. And we came to a little bowl, and we could see his legs like 120 yards away. And unfortunately, when we saw him at first, we split up, which seemed like a good idea at the time. But hindsight, he had a BAR with a scope. And when I put the binos up on the buck, I could see the rack, and he was nervous. His ears were twitching, and he was looking around because he could hear us in the crust, but I don't think he could tell where we were because the lay of the land. And I knew he was going to go, so I kind of crouched down and got the bead settled on him and fired. And he looked around real quick, and as I racked another one in there, he just turned, and he just kind of trotted down the hill. He didn't really run, but there was never another opportunity for a shot. He just kind of, it was one of those deals where you're not going to get another shot, and you're like, well, there he goes. But with that scope, he probably would have had a better chance, but he also was wiping snow and water out of his scope all day. So
Right.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. But it was a real good buck, and hopefully
So you had a fun season.
Oh, it was a blast. Yeah. If I'd had a cameraman with me, it wouldn't have been the biggest buck you ever saw get shot on film, but it would have been pretty exciting,
Yeah.
Both of them were running and doing a lot of shooting. And
How come you didn't have a cameraman with you?
well, I mean, I had my phone in my pocket, but yeah, I've thought about putting the GoPro on, but
They don't work very good.
yeah, and I know in my head I'm gonna pull the gun up before I hit the record button anyway. So
Yeah. I think the only way to do it like that is you just gotta hit record and have it running all day and have enough batteries to go through and enough storage.
yeah, and those GoPro batteries, they don't last long. I use them in the winter shed hunting, and I have 4 of those batteries. I think they last. If it's cold, they're like you get 10 minutes, or I mean, it's short lived.
That short?
Oh, it's yeah.
Oh.
They just came out with a GoPro 9, which I guess they say it's like 2 hours of video or 1 hour if it's on 5K or whatever.
Right.
Obviously, the better it is, the shorter battery, but that's not long enough. I'm not going to carry that many batteries with me.
Yeah.
Yep. Better off just to film yourself and don't get no kill shot. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They
Shoot
want
the
to
buck
see,
and
they
take a
want to see
picture.
what's going on.
Yeah. Get some good pictures after. And tease Chris. I called Chris on both of those bucks, and I said, Chris, I got a buck. And the next day I called him. I got another one.
Send cameraman.
Yeah. He said, where are you now? I said, I'm in New Hampshire. I said, I'm just going from one state to the next. So, yeah.
Cool.
It's not that far off now. It's coming quick.
They don't push it.
Yeah. No, I'm not
We got
pushing it.
things to do.
Yeah, we got Alaska in 3 months, and then moose season, and then deer season.
Bunch of chores before that.
Yeah.
Hey, Hal here. Hey, one thing I realized as I was getting older is when I was younger, I never really planned for retirement. And so my client for the last couple of years, Jerry Smith, had been talking to me about it a little bit. And I don't know when I'm going to retire, but I definitely got to get ready for it. But Jerry owns a company called the Northern Way Wealth Management. And he's got a program he calls the Northern Way Retirement GPS. And it's a way you can plan to get your finances in order and live your best life, which means time in the woods to track down some big bucks. Because, the problem is not getting enough time in the woods for most people. And, whether it's family or other hobbies or, just financial obligations, it cuts into your hunting time. So Jerry has partnered with Dave Ramsey in his Smart Vest program where he helps folks in his process. And Jerry has partnered with us at Big Woods Bucks to offer you your very own no-cost or obligation and Northern Way Retirement GPS. Just call or shoot Jerry a text at 715-551-4181 and mention the promo code BWB. Jerry's going to help you get some retirement time and some more income so you can hunt some more. Good luck on the trail.
Investment advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Northern Way Wealth Management, Retirement Wealth Advisors, and Dave Ramsey are not affiliated.
Hey guys, Joe here. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Lake Parland Lodge. We're a 4-season lodge located just south of Jackman. Got cabins, lodge rooms, mini lodge. We're a big snowmobile destination in the winter, full restaurant, bar, all the amenities that you need for your trip. Open obviously through the summer, right on the lake. Kayaks, canoes, all included with the cabin. We also do a lot of weddings, so if you're looking for a destination wedding, we can do a wedding up to 200 people. And, of course, we've got our hunting season, moose season, deer season. So check us out. We're at lakeparlandlodge.com.
Hey, Hal here. Just want to take a minute to talk about the hunting club. And you can join by going right online at bigwoodsbucks.com. But anyways, I've got all my information is going in there. And it's a place where you can get together and look at my films, tips, writings, and all of that. And the best part is there's forums for you to communicate with, the rest of the club members, talk about Big Wood stuff and all of that. So anyways, $36 a year, cheaper than getting a Starbucks once a day. So join up and hope you see you on there.
Moose drawing next weekend.
Moose drawings next weekend. Anybody out there in the drawing, good luck.
Yeah,
me.
Me.
I've actually gotten to where I don't know. I really enjoyed watching the names go. I don't know. It's kind of a long process to do that, but it's still
happy hour all day.
Yeah, and last year there were so many people that I knew here locally that got picked and stuff, and it's actually, although I think next year it should going to be in Jackman for sure.
Yeah,
we'll past all this.
That should have been this year. I don't know why I guess they didn't have enough time to get it together.
Yep.
Time they decided COVID was over, you know.
What about your hunting season, Candice?
It was a great bird season. Best bird season that I've seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah. Everybody could concur with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every day during the moose hunt, I think you limited out.
Yes, and I was cooking them. Yeah.
Kill and consume.
Yep. Absolutely.
Fresh bird. That's pretty good partridge fresh. I like it.
Absolutely. I'm more of a sitter. I've been trying to do some more walking, being present in all of Hal's clinics. Definitely walked more this year. I wouldn't necessarily per se say I'm a tracker, but definitely trying to get out in the woods more. Always see a couple bucks, let a couple small bucks pass, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
Still learning.
Yeah, you got some under your belt. You just keep going.
Yes.
Yep.
I sure do love the whole process and being in camp and seeing other people harvest and, bring it back and the processing. And then, of course, the cooking, just like every time you open one of those packages of meat, you sort of go back to the hunt and the celebration of it. I always love that part.
I think Candice gets more excited than the hunters do when we come back to camp.
I do get pretty excited.
Which is fun.
At bear camp, I do too. Pretty excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get you some Brutus burger or Brutus meat to do something with.
Absolutely.
So they're actually really good. I take out a couple packs of hamburger at a time and flip them on the grill there, and it's good stuff.
How's Brutus holding up? You must be getting close to the end on it.
I think I got mostly hamburger now. It might be. I got to dig around. The freezer's so full I can't see, because then I got my one from last year that I called Master Gun. And I had a lot of burger done with that one, too, because she wanted to make a batch of mincemeat. So I think I had the back straps cut up and a couple of roasts off the hindquarters and stew meat. Maybe not even stew meat from that one. Maybe mostly burger. She still ain't made the mincemeat yet, though. So
sounds like chili and nachos to me.
Oh, yeah, all of that. Yeah, she just made
Brutus
a nice
tacos.
She made a nice.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Yum.
She made a Brutus stew the other night. That was good. She took a couple packs and made a nice stew out of it, like a minestrone stew out of it. It was good.
Deb's a great cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting. It seemed like more people woke up to the idea of consuming what you harvest.
Absolutely.
Concept. People saw how quickly things can go off the shelves and how,
then it's not there anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't get it at the grocery store anymore.
They said now the price of beef has gone way up, and part of it's some meat packing plant got hacked or something. But also they said, I see it on the news, that they can't even get enough truck drivers to deliver it.
Or
so
processors.
Yep. So they're short on help. So there goes the price. I mean,
you
it
can
was
get
crazy.
it at all.
I think it said hamburger was something nuts, like $6-7 a pound for hamburger or something crazy. Wouldn't be buying any hamburger at that price.
It sure is nice to have a freezer.
Yeah.
A couple freezers full.
And I think going back to what Candice can teach everyone, I didn't grow up in a family that canned, so I never learned how to can. But it's pretty common around these parts. A lot of people still can, and it's just the way people are raised, and they continue to do it. But it's kind of a lost art. And I think just teaching people and going through that process would be really valuable. And I've never actually had canned venison, which I hear is great.
I've heard it is, and I've never had it either. You ever done any of that?
Yes, actually this year I was with someone and we canned it in the pressure cooker for the first time, and it was delicious. It's just a very mild taste, but the texture is so soft, and it's just like you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
It's just like sort of a plain palette, and then you can just kind of add to it. But, you know, in terms of the canning, the pickled fiddleheads and the dilly beans and the jams and the pestos and the salsas, I mean, again, just having your pantry filled with those things. It is a little bit of a lost art. I've been doing it for lots of years now, and let me tell you, people just really appreciate, you know, when you go to a potluck, or I brought pickled fiddleheads and pickles today.
Was it self-taught, or did someone teach you?
Pretty much self-taught. I remember my friend Erin and I made strawberry jam years and years and years ago, and that was the very first thing I canned, and then from there, really just every single year, just canned more and more things.
Yep. Now you're going to be selling it.
Yeah.
So how many fiddleheads you do?
I picked
pickled
20
fiddleheads?
Picked and cleaned 20 gallons and sold well over 100 jars, 125 jars. Yeah.
Wow.
Like in 2 days or something, huh?
Yeah. People, it's just nobody's really doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody's really doing pickled fiddleheads, and they're good in Bloody Marys.
Did you bring any over with you today?
Yes, they were out on the
They're on the
table,
table.
yeah.
I haven't had them. I didn't see them.
They're gone now.
Are they
Joel
gone?
Yeah, Chris had bought a couple jars. Joel bought a couple jars.
All right, next time I'll get them.
Get you some.
Snooze.
Yeah.
There might be
I'm
some
not worried.
leftovers for Moose Camp.
Yep. Oh, hear that?
Don't feel bad, Joe. I haven't had them either.
Well, you missed them on the table, too.
I don't.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for the cake.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, all right. We got to get good talking with both of you.
Yep.
We'll get
Welcome aboard, Candice.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
It's been a long time in the making, and we're definitely glad to have you on.
Just an awesome crew today. Oh, my word. Very inspiring and super, super happy to be a part of it.
Nice family,
Excellent.
huh?
Oh, it was lovely.
Yep. All right.
You too, Nick.
Yeah.
Love you too.
So, all right. So, in closing, we covered the raffle earlier, so you can
We're
just
not
shoot.
closing yet. We got to get a couple more people, don't we?
Oh, no, I thought that was on the next one. No,
How many are we doing?
that's up to you. You're the boss.
Why don't you pause this and we'll talk about it?
Going on pause.
Well, we're going to, we got a couple more guests here. I guess I'd call them guests. It's, we're going to wrap up this episode here pretty quick, but the party's getting on here a little bit at the thing there, so we got to
I feel like we're missing out.
Yeah, I know. A lot of excitement going on out there, and we're sitting in here in the studio. But so we've got Lee Shands, the good Lee, a.k.a. Fred Flintstone. And we got Joel Carville, a.k.a. Barney Rubble. And that's the show, the rest of the show. So go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I don't know how I ended up with so many nicknames. I'm Good Lee and Fred Flintstone.
I don't know how you got the good Lee.
The only way I did, because Bad Lee's even worse than I am.
Yeah. So Joel's got his cliff notes here, so he's got some stuff to say.
Well, the only thing that I'd like to say, last year it was rumored that I'm only about 4'8". I just want to let everybody know that I'm at least 5'2". So
That's with your pumps on.
that's right.
Well, he just had a hip replacement, and so now he's feeling like the Bionic Man. But
Yeah.
probably that hip replacement added a couple inches to you.
I asked them if they would, but they just couldn't get it done. So
Yeah.
Probably a little backstory for those that don't listen to the podcast all the time or that don't know. Years ago, I don't know how many years ago, a long time ago, when we used to go up to Ontario, I think was when I first got the nickname of Fred Flintstone, but I was helping somebody drag their deer out, and Hal said, Shansy's got them Fred Flintstone legs. Looks like you could push a rock car down a cliff. So that's how I became Fred Flintstone, because of my oversized thighs.
Good. Does that mean you're packing our moose out in Alaska?
Well, I've packed a few, but I'm not as young as I used to be either. I'm 5 years older than you, Joe, so I expect you to at least help.
I was going to watch. Now I'm going to pay the $200 and have someone come get mine, I think.
That's what I'm doing.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. We'll play it by ear. But old Barney became famous lately with his collection.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about my gun collection earlier in the episode, but
Yeah.
well, I do have a few pumps there.
I do have a few. So I got a couple there, eh?
I think the last tally was about 39. and actually getting the 40th one picked up today. So
that's your maple one.
That's the maple. Finally getting the 6mm maple, and that'll complete my series of 4 with the I think 7 MM08, 35 Whalen, and 257 Roberts are all in the maple stock. So,
yep,
it is a really impressive collection of pump Remingtons.
Yeah, he made the home page of what's that group?
It's the 760, 7600, and Model 6.
Gun lovers, fan
page, something like that. But
yeah, you go on there and you'll see his collection leaning up against the wall there.
Yeah. Every once in a while you get somebody that will put 6 or 8 there, and everybody's saying, great collection. And I said, that's a start.
You guys have even got me collecting them. I didn't realize it until I counted up the other day, but I started buying a few Remington pumps back. These must have been 3 or 4 years ago. Hal and I bought 20-something out of New York, and we sold most of them, but we kept some of the ones that we wanted. And
I got 4 of them.
Yeah, and then I ended up...
We're trying to get 2 more to you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you ought to have those to add to your collection. One of them's the rarest one. For those that don't know, the holy grail of Remington pump rifles, Hal and I have got a Model 14 in 25 Rem caliber carbine with a thumbnail safety. They probably just made a handful of them.
Yep. That's the rarest. Most people don't even know they made a carbine in 25.
Yeah, they're hard to get.
And we got a set, and we're ready to sell it.
Yeah.
So. Can we do that? We won't get thrown in jail if we put that on the pod.
We're not going to get in Facebook jail for that. Anybody interested in that, you can get a hold of me or Lee.
You know, a lot of people I know question when they see Joel's. There's always comments. Oh, who needs that many? Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just like a stamp collector or anything else. It's an item of interest. You know, it can be a good investment if done right, and some guys just like to do it. You know, there is no explanation for it, and no one's owed an explanation. But it seems like people get all riled up if they see someone that collects something like that. Like, well, who needs that many guns? Well, no, he probably only uses one of them to go deer hunting.
Yeah, I get probably 2. Both are odd 6 carbines, but I bought the stuff I bought is any one of them I would actually take in the field and hunt. If if it's not something I would do that with, I don't even think about buying. But a lot of them are saying, well, they're going to start making the pumps again. But a lot of this stuff is older stuff, and it's a little more collectible.
Yeah, because some of that stuff they're never going to make.
No,
again.
They're never going to be.
They make them again. They're going to come out with probably an .6 carbine.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to have again.
Yeah. You're not going to get a 35 Rem carbine or anything like that. I don't think.
You might from us.
Yeah,
I got one.
Yeah, I know. Hal sold
Same
his.
thing. He sold.
No,
his.
but I mean, we may be able to do one if we get that going again with Remington.
Hopefully,
and do a limited run of them.
Yeah.
That would be a fun one too. So just for fun, tossing it around, let's dream a little bit that they do crank up the factory again and start making pumps, and we're able to get some more Big Woods bucks. What's the order we're going in calibers?
Well, 308 was
308 was the next in line. We already had an order of them. 308, then a 7mm 08 youth model, and then we were going to go to the 35, and then people wanted talking about a 270 carbine. So that's kind of an order we'd go in.
Yeah, that's a good order too. I think they would sell. Definitely sell.
Oh yeah, they'd sell.
Well, Chris told me when I was just over, we were filming over in the cabin next door, and we were talking about that stuff, and I had asked Chris, and he said he thinks he has about at least 400 emails of people that want one of those 308 carbines.
Oh yeah.
So if Remington can get back and making those again, that's something that Big Woods Bucks is going to be able to.
Yeah, I think they will. They got a lot of fish to fry here in the beginning, like anything starting over. But
2-3 years maybe.
Yeah, I think we can get them to do that, especially if there's enough interest in it from us. I think we can get them moving that direction.
I got to put a little heads up or a thank you to Hal. I ended up, a lot of guys know I'm a Savage 99 guy. I hunt with a Remington pump occasionally. Actually, I shot my first big buck when I was 13 years old with a Remington pump, but it was a 12-gauge 870. It wasn't a rifle. So, but being a Savage guy, I always had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to 760 and 300 Savage, but they only made them the first year back in the late 50s when they started.
Early 50s. 54 they started.
Yeah, they switched over from the 141s to the 760s.
Yep.
And the serial number on mine, it had to be a first-year production gun because the serial number on mine's 20,000. But Hal saw it on Facebook or saw it somewhere, and I called a guy out in Wyoming. So it was some lady's mule deer rifle, and she took good care of it because, you know, if the gun's 60 or 70 years old, it's in pretty good shape, and it's in 300 Savage, and it has the original clip in it because it's stamped right on the side, 300 Savage, so it's the original clip, and it was in decent shape. I just had to clean it up a little bit. I took the scope off it. It had a cheap scope on it, so I took that off and put a peep sight on it, a Williams peep that I'd get off in Hal, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and so she's ready to go. It's a Big Woods buck pump gun and my 300 Savage caliber, so I might shoot a deer with that.
That'd be cool. Yep, that'd be cool.
I also got one for myself. Well, not for myself, for a gift for my grandson.
Yeah,
you're gonna cut that down, aren't you? And
Yep.
That'll make a nice gun for him.
Yep.
Get him used to the pump.
Yep, he's already used to it. He uses his 870 youth.
Yep.
So I'll cut it down.
There's no recoil to it hardly at all either. So
it's like a 30-30.
No sense getting him flinching right off.
Yeah, I'll probably put the youth stock on it from the 870 to start with, and then till he grows into the full length stock.
How's the trigger on it? Is it pretty good the way it is, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, the older ones, actually, the 760s have got a
nicer
better
trigger.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. Yeah. And the clips don't bother. They're nice guns. I really like mine, and it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because I'm not the Remington pump guy. I'm the 99 guy, but I have, over the last few years, I've noticed they've got about 2 or 3 different renditions of that 760. If you look at the forend, they had different adaptations they did down through the years before they switched over to the 7600.
Yeah. When they went, the forend changed to what the 7600 is in the 60s. The beginning, from the 50s, for about 10 years, they monkeyed around with it. And it's had a whole different, system where the forend went on. It's got a different bolt lag system in there. But then when they changed the stock configuration to look just like what the 7600s do, it's the same. It goes on the same bolt, it's the same exact design. The only thing difference in a 760 from the 60s on is that it's got that 17 or 19 lug bolt, whatever they call it, like the original. And then the 7600s, they came along with a 4-bolt lug. They made more sense, it was simpler. A lot simpler to machine it,
I kind of like the looks of that old 300 Savage, probably just because the first Remington pump guns I ever remember seeing, they had those, I call them Tootsie Roll forends now. I didn't come up with that name, but I remember I called a guy once over in New Hampshire. He had one in 222, which is, those are really, really hard to find. And I called asking the guy about it because I was going to get one for Hal, if I could buy it reasonable. And I said, is it a 5 diamond? And he said, no, it's got the Tootsie Roll forend. And I'd never heard it described like that, but it is. It's got, the lines don't go all the way around. The original, like the 14s and the early ones they call them corn cobs. The lines on the forend go all the way around and they're wider. But on the 141s and the 760s, they just have lines on the side, kind of like a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
So
they didn't make many of those 222s, did they?
No.
I can remember before everything was going crazy on Gunbroker I think I even texted you a couple times there, 222s going for 2,500 somewhere out there.
That'd be a good buy now.
So now, that'd be a good buy.
Yeah. Sure.
260s seem to be hard. That's one I don't have, the 260 caliber.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I see one, but they're up there in price.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't make a lot. That caliber didn't stick around very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad because it really ain't that. You never know. It's all about timing. But that 260, there's not really too much difference between that and that 6.5 Creedmoor that everybody's hot about.
Right.
It's just the 6.5 Creedmoor, the way it's bored, it'll take those longer target bullets a little better. But as far as ballistics and for hunting, there ain't a bit of difference really between that and the 260. My dad shot a beautiful buck. You guys will see it the next time when we start doing shows again and you guys are staying down at my camp. My dad gave me 2 or 3 of his best racks a few months ago. And he shot a big, I think it's an 8, but big, heavy, nice, long main beams. And he shot that buck with a 260 when they first came out. He liked it. Shot 140 grain bullets in it. He said it went down quick.
Yep. Another caliber I have that you don't see much of around is 25-06.
Right.
There's a few, once in a while you'll see them on there, but not very often.
Yep. Yeah, some of them they just didn't make many, Yep. Yeah, that didn't catch on. That was pretty popular in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and then it kind of faded. It kind of fizzled.
Yep.
I would imagine if you out west, if you were shooting long distances, the 25-06, if you load that with 120 grain sleek bullets, that thing, it's still fast even with the 120 grain bullets. It shoots flat.
Yeah, but it didn't compete with a 130 grain 270 round. I think that was the biggest deal with it. Yeah.
So Lee, you got some news back on your moose recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of famous in these parts now in Maine.
I just got back over when these guys started the podcast. I was over Joe and his dad. I don't know whose it is, but the cabin next door, boy, it's a beauty. It's an old log cabin that they've restored, and it's my nicest. I like it better than anything else on the property. It's got that old rustic look, and it's got the stone fireplace, and the staircase going up to the upstairs is made out of yellow birch, and it's got driftwood in. I don't know, it's a cool cabin. Well, we had to get away from the noise so we could film an opening and a closing for my moose video, so we went over there and used the stone fireplace for a backdrop. And I just found out last week that I knew my moose was big because Hal scored it for me a couple months ago, and I knew it made Boone and Crockett, and I knew it was one of the best ones shot in Maine last year. But Maine Antler and Skull just sent me a certificate in the mail last week. I waited 40 years to get my own moose permit, and I shot the #1 moose in the state last year. It was the highest scoring moose in the state.
That's awesome.
That's great. Yep. Congratulations.
Really cool.
And I'm really looking forward to the thing that was special about it for me was my son Stephen was able to be with me. He guided a guy. It was a day or two before I got mine. Stephen guided a guy, and he shot a huge bull that made Maine Antler and Skull. And then he was able to be with me on the hunt. And Chris Dalty, the brains behind the business here at Big Woods Bucks, he'd been telling me for 10 years, he said, Shanzy, if you get drawn for your moose, he said, I want to go with you. So Chris was with me, and then we had Jason Alex went along to film it. So we got everything on film, and I passed on a bull on Thursday that was a pretty good bull. When people see the video, they'll get to see, but it was a nice bull. It was a 50-inch bull, but his palms were a little narrow, and his fronts were all right, but nothing super. And we had a tough week. It was warm and windy earlier in the week, and then it rained on Wednesday. But then on Thursday, things opened up, and we saw, 4 or 5 moose on Thursday. So I didn't panic. I said, well, I got 2 more days to hunt. And then Friday morning, I ended up shooting that bull, and we got good footage. And if they get the editing done this week, we'll be able to have it out for the moose draw. And I'm really excited. I think a lot of people want to see that on Big Woods Bucks. So I'm looking forward to it.
It'll go on the our YouTube channel.
Yep.
That's where you'll see it. So check the YouTube channel out.
And thanks for scoring it, Al. Appreciate you scoring it for me. Yep. I think it's nice. Everything about it was all the people that are closest to me in all the world were all involved in it in one way or another. Dick Galkovich, which I've known for years. Dick's going to mount it for me. And it was funny. That's another, I don't want to hog all the time here, but Dick, he ended up, I didn't have his number in my phone, but Chris had it. And we'd no more than tagged that moose in Allagash, which, as everybody knows, is nowhere. And we were headed down 95, and, we hadn't even made it to 95 yet.
Not Allagash, Ashland.
Ashland, I'm sorry. And we were headed down Route 11 to get to 95, and Chris called Dick on the phone and passed it to me, and I said, hey, Dick, this is Lee Shands, and I was going to ask him to mount my moose, and he said, "Boy, that was a hell of a moose you got." And I just tagged it 5 minutes before.
It's the world we live in, Lee.
Oh, it's a small world. It
There's
scares
no secrets anymore.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, after that was right after I got back from my trip out to Alaska, and you don't see in a Maine moose, you just don't see those Alaska characteristics that often, the big fronts and all that. You could not have shot a closer looking bull to the one I shot in Alaska with the fronts, 4 brow tines, and
31 points.
Yeah.
I don't think I had 31 scoreable. Hal showed me that they've got to be longer than they are wide, so
right.
I don't think, but mine had 31 points, but not all of them counted, but it was really, really similar to yours.
Yeah. So, all good stuff.
I actually, just so I don't hog up all the time, I want Joel to talk about it. The moose hunt wasn't all about me either, because we had a wounded vet, really, really nice guy that used to work with Hal in Remington. And Deb, Hal's wife, Deb, was good enough. She gave up her permit. She'd had some permits before, and she gave her permit up for Billy so he could shoot a moose. And Hal was guiding somebody, so I needed somebody to guide Billy out of my camp before Hal got there. And Joel offered his services you guided him for 2 days, right?
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, you've done me a lot of favors over the years and different things with turkey hunting, and I just, having your own permit, I could see, having pressure of guiding somebody else too. I figured I didn't mind helping you out on something like that. So I took him for the first 2 days. There was only 2 or 3 bulls we saw. They were smaller. We had a couple that we played with a few times, just couldn't get them out because it was warm and rainy and everything. And we had just in 2 days, we had a good time. We did a lot of walking and scouting and stuff. And then Hal, I think you came Tuesday night, I think.
Yeah.
And then it poured Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
And Hal and I took him Wednesday. Well, you took him first, and I wanted to scout another area, and I come back and met up with you.
Yeah.
And then you took him around that pond that we were in.
We called in one in there. Might have been the same one that you guys had called in.
Probably was, yeah. Nice area. I was surprised that we didn't see more than we did down in there. But
good, plenty of sign in there.
Yeah, there was some older cuts, and there were some newer cuts, and a lot of water.
Yeah.
Thick area. So it worked out good. Hal took him the rest of the week and ended up getting a good bull. And like I said, that's what we do as friends. If we can help out, we help out. So,
well, for the people that have heard you and I on the podcast, we're always hacking on each other, kind of like Libby and I with Good Lee and Bad Lee. But I was really happy that Joel could be on the moose hunt because it was my first hunt where I had my own permit. And it was great sharing a camp with you guys. And I don't know if Billy knows how lucky he is, but probably 2 of the best moose guides I know in the whole state of Maine took turns guiding him. And I mean, that's pretty good. But just to let you know, Billy, he ended up, he did, I don't know how many combat tours, but he's been all over the world serving our country. And so I asked him once, because he got around pretty good. I mean, he looked like he had a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up, but I asked him, I said, what exactly did you have go wrong with? And he said, well, I've had both of my knees operated on and both of my shoulders operated on. And he said, I've also got that concussion syndrome from being around too many bombs. I said, boy, you're in rough shape.
I think that before we go any further, that's the other part of it too. I was not only doing you a friendly favor, but for a guy that served our country like that, I'm glad I could help out on that part. That's actually even more important.
Yeah.
And he was a great guy. He, really fun
nice
to be around.
He was a captain in the Marine Corps, and he told me he started his career in the Marine Corps. 1 week into it, he was stationed in New York in the building across from the World Trade Center when it got bombed.
Oh, no kidding.
That's how his Marine Corps career started. Wow. He wasn't in the building that day. And then from then on, he went overseas and did, tours in Iraq, Afghanistan and all that, and got blown up. He said they'd get a roadside bomb, and he'd just start feeling himself, make sure he had his limbs, And then he ended up down in South Africa. He was actually in Special Ops. There's only like 800 Marines in the whole. It's like the old recon used to be, but it's the special ops, and so yeah, he done us a good service.
I think his only complaint with me was my snoring there the first night. I got kicked out of the tent. And
yeah, he went out and camped out in his
so then the next night
limousine.
I hear the night after I left, you stayed right in the tent and snored away, and he still went another.
Yeah, he got out and stayed in his expedition or whatever the heck that was.
That's something that we can share with him, Joe, is Hal snores like a bear. But the only person I know that snores worse than Hal is Joel. And I ended up, it was so funny. I usually am the first one up in moose camp. You know, I set an alarm clock, and like everything else, I'm old school. I got a wind-up alarm clock that goes off in the morning.
You do not.
So I do. I bring a wind-up alarm
Does it
clock
have the
up
two little
there
bells
with me.
on top of it?
It does.
Tick,
Yeah.
tick, tick.
You are Fred Flintstone.
I end up, I go over and I start the generator up because I run, I learned that from Hal. It works really good, but I keep a generator out back, one of those little Hondas that don't make any noise, and I run an extension cord, but I run lights in between all the tents. So when I start that generator up in the morning, everybody's got a light in front of their tent, and it actually lights up the inside of your tent. And then it gives me some light to get around in the morning so I can start breakfast and everything. Well, I walked by Billy. I think it was a Suburban, wasn't it, Hal? They gave him for a rent-a-car. They gave him a Suburban. And I noticed the back of the Suburban was opened up, and Billy was up. He was in the back of that Suburban, curled up in the fetal position. And I was like, how'd you like sleeping in that tent with Joel? And he said, I didn't.
Actually, no, that was the second night. The first night, he stayed in the cook shack.
Wow.
The cook tent, right on the floor. Because we didn't get the Suburban in there till Wednesday. Remember, we left it back at my camp in Sardis.
That's right.
So, but yeah, the first time he slept right on the floor.
Yeah. He's the only hunter I ever seen that hunted all week in a pair of sneakers for moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something to do with it. He didn't bring his rubber boots. He didn't think he needed them. And he had these, I think he brought some leather hiking boots, which was full of water. So he put these kind of like sneakers. They look a little bit like hiking shoes, but more sneakery. And that's what he wore. Feet were wet all week.
I got an idea. If you've done tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, sneakers in Maine don't bother you much.
That's probably true.
He could probably tough his way through it.
Yeah. I noticed he didn't do much whining.
No, not at all.
He packed that moose out with them sneakers on, too.
Yeah.
Him and Big Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them young backs.
Yeah. Them young backs. Well, I guess that's enough yakking and carry on. We got to go out and do a little more socializing with the guys.
Yeah.
So, anyways, ding us up on YouTube. Make sure you see Lee's moose video coming out and support our sponsors. Like us on Facebook. What else we got to do? Instagrams.
You got it. You're a professional. Yeah. And right. To cover the raffle one more time, it'll be on the Big Woods page. We'll just put like a quick synopsis of how it's going to work. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And Joel said he's going to donate that 35 carbine, right?
Yep,
yeah,
he did. He said that. I heard that.
Yeah, well, you heard what Hal got for his there. So just so he knows, Glenn Bombardier, you'd have to pay the same amount of money, buddy.
You'll have to call me and find out what that is.
Oh, I think he'd already heard. He called and told me how much you. Yeah. I told him he's going to have to put a Red Sox hat on in order for me to sell it to him, and he said, "No, I guess I'm not getting that."
Well, all right. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the beginning of your summer here. Kids should be getting out of school and all that, so have fun. Talk to you in a couple weeks. Till then, good luck on the trail. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.